Hey everyone! Alright, so at this point you should be getting out your notes. This is the section titled 5.6 Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. We have gone through all of the got it's for 1 and 2, so you should be at number 3. Here's the main theme here is that I need you to be having your notes out. You need a calculator, writing utensil, so go ahead and get all of that stuff now. I am going to give you a little bit to do that. If you would please go ahead and pause the video while everyone's getting situated, and then we'll go ahead and start. So please press pause now. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. So we've got writing an equation of a perpendicular line. I need to present slideshow. Present, not online. There we go. All right. Put some pens on here. Bam. All right. Can I get the color white? No, I can't. No, that might work. It says, what is the equation of the line that passes through 2, 4, and is perpendicular to the graph of y equals 1/3 x minus 1? So that's a huge thing. First, number one, is we need to remember what perpendicular means. Perpendicular means opposite reciprocal slopes. So step one is we need to find the slope. So this is a little bit different than the parallel ones, because the parallel ones, you were using the same slope, but this one's a little bit different. These slopes are opposite reciprocal. So we take the slope of this line here, which is 1/3. If it's not a fraction, make sure you turn it into a fraction. So 1/3, that's slope. That's the slope, that's a fraction, we're good. First thing we do is make it opposite. Opposite of 1/3 is negative 1/3. Then you flip it. The numerator, the denominator change spots. So you go from negative 1/3 to negative 3/1. Now, if you can reduce. So now we're going to go from negative 3/1 to negative 3. So our new slope is negative 3. The next thing we do is we're going to use our point slope form. Our point slope form, remember, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Where are we getting y1 and x1 at? Remember, it's from that point right there. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and plug in. So I have y minus y1 is 4 equals my m, which is negative 3 times x minus 2. What do I do next? Well, I need it to be in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute negative 3, negative 3. So now I have y minus 4, nothing changes over there. And I distribute. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. One more step. I need to get y by itself, so I would add 4 on both sides. Take a moment, look over that, see if all of that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask yourself what part was confusing, because the only new part for this particular problem is finding the slope. The second step, finding the equation of the line, we've done before with parallel lines. We've just used the same slope. So perpendicular, remember, opposite reciprocal slopes. Coming up, you're going to do one on your own, and then we're going to look over it together. So here's the one that I'm going to ask you to do on your own. When everyone at your table is finished, compare answers with everyone at your table. See if you all agree. When everyone in the class is finished, then we'll continue the video. So if you would please pause the video, and we'll jump back in here shortly. All right, so by now everyone's gone over it, and what you should have noticed is that the slope on this one starts out as 2, but you have to make it a fraction. So that's the thing. So it starts out, you can't just go through this with just 2. You need to think of it as 2/1. So step 1 was finding the slope. So here I have 2/1. The opposite reciprocal of that, remember, flip it, make it negative, or if it's negative, you make it positive. So here I have flipping it, so now it's going to be 1/2, but it's going to be a negative because it's opposite reciprocal. So my slope is negative 1/2. Remember, we're doing this because it says perpendicular. If it said parallel, you'd use the same slope. And some of you notice we kind of ignore this. It doesn't even matter, and you're right, it doesn't matter. We don't need the y-intercept at all. We don't do anything with it. It's extra information. Nice to have, don't need it. Thank you. So we have our x1 and our y1. We have an I1. We have y1. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So now we're going to substitute a plug in. This is step 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have y minus 8 equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. Oh no, we're going to end up with a fraction. You know how much I love fractions. Go ahead and distribute that guy. So we have negative 1/2 times x and negative 1/2 times a negative 1. Left side, nothing happens. So I have y minus 8 equals negative 1/2 x plus 1/2. Mr. Brummond, we got it's okay. Fractions are okay. Next thing I need to do is I need to add 8 on both sides to get y by itself. Boop. Boop. Alright, so if I add 8, I just have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 8 1/2. Other acceptable answers include, let's see, that would be 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1 is 7. So 17/2 also works. Decimals do not work. Why? Because there is a fraction in my problem. So this should be your answer. Go ahead and work on your homework. If you have any questions, please tweet at me. Please message me on Remind. And I want you guys to know that I care about each and every one of you, and so I want you to wear your seatbelts and don't do drugs. And no hugging, no loving, quote these people. And you know what? Have a wonderful weekend.